Maybe this is why the movie is 50% good. Oh, Batman Forever, it's an enigma on itself. I want to like it, especially looking at what happened later. It has better action scenes, Batman is decent, Robin, very little to complain about, but then you have Riddler, Bruce Wayne, and TwoFace. What is up with them making the villains be 50% of their character, then the other half be a crappier version of the Joker? This is all thanks to the issue of trying to integrate the 1960s Batman into the Burton movies. Why did this all happen in the first place? Parents had issues with Batman Returns. I've read several articles about the whole nonsense, and I even remember a lot of what happened back then. One of the parents' issues was that McDonald's did Happy Meal toys for the film. Excuse me, what? What's the difference between Batman 89 and Batman Returns? Both films have the same type of action, grittiness, intensity. They're both rated PG-13. Both films have villains die. Oh, Penguin bleeding out of his mouth. So much worse than Joker sitting in a crater. If you were a parent who had your kid watch the films, that's on you. It's clearly rated for teens. Now, I watched both films when I was 6. I understood they were fake. The death moment never bothered me. I was in it for Batman saving the day. The only thing I ever got sad over was I never got the Batmobile toy. Till this day, I'm still pissed off that Catwoman never got another movie. No, she didn't get another movie. But because of the backlash that should have happened with the first film, this is also one of the factors that led to the whole violence in kids shows nonsense the following year. The movies got retooled to be more lighter in tone. Yet, Batman Forever is still PG-13, and McDonald's did stuff for it. I still have 2 of the Batman Forever glass cups you got for the movie. I got this when I was 9. So what was the point of all this? The movie wasn't PG, we lost Keaton as Batman, and fans got a movie that didn't know what it wanted to be. A serious action-filled Batman or Ace Ventura 1.5. Another franchise that fell to parents complaining. Joel Schumacher just got lucky on his first go-around because Tim Burton was still here trying to keep the ship on course. I don't really understand the obsession Schumacher has with trying to combine the 2 Batmans. Both work on their own, both have their merits to exist. I love Adam West's Batman. The animated movies that continued the series were also fun, but you can't just mix and match them. It also doesn't help Forever pokes fun at even physics. The safe scene is so stupid, it swings perfectly back in place, ignoring that the wall wouldn't hold the weight and the safe is able to pivot 90 degrees. This type of stuff makes you look like you don't care about the movie. It's just some property to milk money from. I f***ing hate when Bruce yells out he's Batman and no one freaking hears him. Bull. Schumacher feels like a younger brother in his older brother's room. He got a hold of the toys, but wanted to play with the toys his way, ignoring the established tone of the first films. But at the same time, wanting to capitalize on them. He went so hard to keep 2 of the actors and referenced Catwoman, just so you know we're still in that universe. Alright, let's go through the list of actors. First, Val Kilmer. Probably gonna get some disagreements. I think he works fine as Batman. Very serious, monotone. He does have the presence. He can fight. When he's dealing with his whole family backstory or when he has to decide on Robin joining, all good. But when it comes to playing Bruce Wayne, no. He's playing him way too stiff. The whole point of Bruce Wayne is he's different from Batman. He's the nice guy, loves to help out, be more friendly, keeping a facade up. TAS focused more on him being kind with his money. Batman Begins, he hid behind women. Kilmer was being Batman in all his scenes. There is no moment like when Keaton first appears in the display room where he's explaining what his statues are, then goes, "Oh yeah, I'm Bruce Wayne, hi." Keaton didn't get to be Wayne all that much, but the 2 personalities were there. And I know Val Kilmer can do fun. He was Chris Knight in Real Genius. I also noticed a large amount of ADR when he's playing Bruce. Maybe they were trying to fix this? But regardless, Forever is a bizarre movie. It's like they were overcompensating. They saw how the villains were turning out, so they needed Batman to be super serious to go against that. Either way, Kilmer gets a nope as Bruce. Next, Chase Meridian, the new love interest for Batman / Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I wish they hadn't bothered with another love interest. You don't have to do it all the time. I get the joke, haha, Bruce dates a psychologist. The problem is they don't use her good. I like that she could pick apart the minds of the villains, but her obsession with Batman's brain, it was like they were writing a caricature and not a person. I got a hammer in, I love Batman, give me that rubber. Then next, Bruce breaks down her door, so she starts going after Wayne. Why didn't they build her up like Vicky so Chase can get used through the story? You went from Vicky Vale, a little comedy here and there, trying to get the scoop on Batman. Selena Kyle, gone crazy, two sides of the same coin, the bad girl that Bruce can't catch, to Chase. No real personality. Especially after she misuses the bat signal, I lost respect for her. Moving on to the Riddler. If this was a reboot of the 1960s Batman, Jim Carrey would have been a great replacement of Frank Gorshin. But since this is supposed to be the Burton movies, I don't want to see Ace Ventura 1.5. That's all I got from him. They wrote the character for him to play Jim Carrey. As for the origin story, they were basically using the one for Batman the Animated Series, minus him working for another company and being fired. They kind of recycled this with Poison Ivy. Wayne turns down Nigma because of him controlling brainwaves. Ivy goes after Wayne because his company was funding Dr. Woodrew's illegal experiments. Why are the bad guys always involved with a Wayne company? Although, I always wondered, did Batman end up taking Nigma's tech? It would explain how Alfred digitized his brainwaves into Max Headroom. I almost liked Carrey as the Riddler when he wasn't acting like Ace Ventura. The parts where he goes into Nigma mode and when he's making the riddles, that's the character. I know everyone always brings up the fact that he's the one who found the Batcave. I will give the movie that one. He took advantage of the one moment of weakness, but that all goes down the drain when they go to the whole brain-sucking battleship king chair crap. Plays the character so over the top, it just ruins Riddler. If Carrey toned it down to say Riddler in the Arkham games, it would have been better. Like when he's doing the whole crying act. Who the hell is falling for that? I also got to point out, there's a lot of buildings in Gotham built on top of waterfalls that have varying plot armor stats. Nigma's poor boss kicks the bucket, but Ivy and Bane were peachy after taking a dunk from Arkham Asylum. Who's next? Joker? No, wait, TwoFace, right? I mix them up all the time. Seriously though, I wrote Joker 5 times in the script before I realized it. First, I'll give him 2 things. He's not as bad as Garbage Bane. And they actually did the comic origin story the worst way possible. They wasted one of Bruce's big screw-ups for some crappy TV footage. I don't have a problem with 2 villains in a movie. I think that's the most you can do. But clearly, they didn't care about Two-Face. Again, the actor is influencing the story. Two-Face plays second fiddle. Old and busted, new hotness. His characterization, it's all over the place. One minute he's Joker, the next he's using the coin, but he was too megalomaniac. Jones had his work out for him because Richard Mall did such an amazing job in the animated series, you're going to get compared to him. Face works much better as that black and white force of nature. My coin makes my decisions, you live and die by it. The other reason why Two-Face doesn't work for the film is him being a part of Robin's origin. Chris O'Donnell probably is one of the big factors why Batman Forever became a hit. Surprisingly, most of Dick's origin story is intact, unlike Batgirl's, with just a few changes that don't work. Instead of Tony Zuko, Two-Face is the cause of the Flying Grayson's death. They grafted the plot line on top of him. This is another reason why he got downgraded. Zuko wasn't a huge, powerful guy. He just ran a gang, threatened people out of money. They also do stupid things with the plot, like why does Two-Face attach the bomb to a cable pulling it in the air? Because the writer got stuck and needed a way for the Graysons to get the bomb. Then you have the dumbest moment in the movie where Two-Face shoots at the Graysons. He could have easily hit the bomb and set it off. This is why you shouldn't mix stories together. As for Robin, he is the best thing about the entire movie. He has the hatred towards Two-Face. Bruce is there trying to direct him away from that path. Robin was also the reason why Bruce started thinking about his parents. I like Chris O'Donnell as Robin. He played him good. He didn't cross the line of camp versus serious. He also had the only joke in the movie I thought that was good when he pulls out the Burt Ward moment. The only issue I had was his age. He's clearly an adult, so the whole adopt thing falls apart. I wish they had hired someone a little bit younger to play Robin, or maybe do the movie over several years so that Robin became a young adult. The last thing I had issue with, Two-Face's death. I get Batman was using his coin against him. He's done that in all the different shows. But what the He outright killed him. The whole movie was telling Robin to not kill him. The pain won't go away.
5 minutes later.
Splat. Batman intentionally threw coins at Two-Face so he would lose balance and then watched him fall. At any point he could have fired his grapple hook, saving his life at the last second. He doesn't do that. I also didn't like that he killed guys in Batman Returns either. I'm not going to give Burton a pass on that. What would I change to fix the movie? It's not as bad as BNR, but unlike the other one, I'm going to remove Two-Face completely. I'm going to replace him with Tony Zuko. If you're going to water down Face, you might as well have the actual character that killed the Graysons to do it. This can still work within the plot lines of the movie. I'm also removing Meridian. We have Robin and Zuko to focus on. I'm keeping Riddler as Jim Carrey. What I would change is focus more on the Enigma side. Go for the smarts, not for the laughs. Carrey can still pull off his crazy body goofness to give the Riddler pizzazz. Just play it like John Glover did in the animated series. Keep his range in check. Second, redesign that goddamn blender brainwave device. They copied so many things from Batman TAS and no one thought of using the VR headset from What is Reality. The movie is freaking similar to that episode. I would also change Enigma being a part of a Wayne company. I would mix both the original origin and the TAS origin together. Enigma's a genius at a young age. He cons people out of money, he works his way through different jobs, but got screwed by a company over rights to his game designs. This is where Tony Zuko comes in. Riddler wants the company's president dealt with. In return, he teams up with Zuko and invents the brainwave machine. If he gets help and resources, he can take over Gotham, giving sections of control to Zuko's gang. Zuko offs his targets, including a certain circus that didn't pay. Robin's origin plays out the proper way. Bruce takes Dick in, we have a time jump for a few years. Enigma mysteriously becomes the president of said company, bringing his new VR headset to the world. First stop, Gotham. The second half of the film is Batman trying to figure out Riddler's puzzles, and Bruce and Alfred have been trying to help Dick with his pain. Teaching meditation techniques, martial arts training, trying to get focus off what happened. With all this going on, Dick behind everyone's back, he's been leaving the mansion for leaves, which pays off. He still doesn't know Bruce is Batman at this point. His nosing around finally gets him in trouble where Batman has to come in to help. This is where Bruce decides to tell him the truth. This, of course, breaks the weak bridge between Bruce and Dick, where Alfred has to help out, explaining everything about Batman's past. Enigma's plan, after several years, finally opens up to the public. This forces Batman to go after Riddler's machine, while Zuko's gang goes into the city, killing all the people that have been brainwashed. With a little help from Alfred, Dick gets his suit and goes after him. This becomes the turning point for Robin. Like Batman TS did, I wanted Dick to be the one to decide his fate and not screw Robin out of that choice like Forever did. He chooses to be the hero, tying up Zuko and his goons, then heads after Batman to help. So we can get a full circle. Batman saved Robin from turning into a murderer, and Robin gets to save Batman, proving his place as his partner. Instead of the machine making Riddler insane, Enigma gets trapped in an endless loop, unable to understand how a plan that took years to execute got foiled by Batman in a night. Looking back at the movie, I fell for it. It was the era of the CGI craze. Oh, look at what we can do now. Huge sweeping shots with the Batwing or the Batboat, the rising brainwashing tower. The movie had a lot of that stuff, so we tend to ignore, more like forgive issues in movies. On top of that, Chris O'Donnell was cool, so I got tunnel vision with the film. But a couple of years passed, several more CGI-infested movies came out. Tied with Burton not coming back to produce Batman and Robin, everyone saw how stupid the Batman movies got. I walked away from Batman for a while. I didn't see most of Batman Beyond when it originally aired. That one movie really ticked me off. Then I eventually went, Forever's not that great either. I always wondered what could have been if Michael Keaton continued playing Batman. We'll just never know.